We're ready, Your Worship.
Thank you, Ms. Lewis. Welcome everybody to our council meeting for March 2nd, 2021. We have everybody on board except the deputy mayor, and I'm going to call for a motion, please, to adopt the agenda which is really the February 23rd agenda that's been carried over by a week. It is moved by Councillor Stoyles and second by Councillor Fry. All in favor? And those opposed? Okay, motion is carried. At this time, I'd also like to make note and welcome to our chamber our new CAO, Ms. Spurl. Welcome aboard. Good to see you in the chair. And I know that you've been working already for 3 weeks. So already you've had 3 major snowstorms, the return of the pandemic, and only in 3 weeks. So I'd like to welcome you on behalf of the city and the residents of Mount Pearl and both of our colleagues around the table.
Thank you, Your Worship, very much.
All right, so let's go on to the agenda. The minutes from the meeting of February 9th, 2021. Always well prepared, but just in case, I'm sure you've all reviewed. Is there any errors or omissions? Hearing none, I'll call for a motion to adopt the minutes. Moved by Councillor Antle and seconded by Councillor Fry. All in favor? Those opposed? Thank you so much, folks. We have adopted the February 9th minutes. For purposes of business arising, please quote the item number in the minutes.
I have one, Your Worship.
Pardon me?
I have one.
Councillor Fry.
Number 21-02-048. It's the mental health task force webinar with Craig Smith that was on February 25th. That was a fantastic webinar. It was very well received. And Craig Smith is the president of the St. John's Regional Firefighters Association. And he spoke very candidly and openly about the struggles of firefighters and PTSD and what they experience. So it was a really good webinar, very valuable. Just for the information of public, these webinars, mental health webinars, take place the last Thursday of every month. So the next one will be the last Thursday of March. Anyway, it was well attended, well received. It actually went a half an hour over the slotted time, and everybody stayed. So it was a really good event. Just wanted to give you an update on that.
Thank you, Councillor, and I believe you are correct when you say well attended, and the content was really appropriate, especially in these times. I know I made it for the first half of the session along with Councillor Antle, and I attended the previous one, which was I think you had somebody in from the Canadian Mental Health Association.
From Channel, actually.
Oh, from Channel, was it? Yes. Yeah. Okay, thank you for that update, Council. Is there any other items? Councillor Antle.
Just a quick note now to Councillor Stoyles, Sarah, and I'm talking about Canada Post. So see, I'm just a quick note there, 21-02071 regarding Canada Post. We were supposed to have a meeting with Canada Post last week, but I think that meeting got delayed. And just for the benefit of our minutes and for the residents that are paying attention, that meeting is going to go ahead tomorrow afternoon. Is that right, Director Antle? Okay. So we'll have a better update on that at our next public meeting, I guess.
Very good.
Canada Post is still we're still in the same issues, Councillor Fry or Councillor Stoyles.
Last call, please, then for commentary or business arising. Okay, hearing none, I'm going to now turn to committee reports. We have the Corporate Services and Economic Development Committee report, starting with invoices for approval. Councillor Antle, please.
Your Worship, we only have a few here today. Spending lots of money. The first one here, invoices for approval for the last few weeks, is for $4,312,637.64. You can see there's 6 there in your kit. There's one major one there, number 6, is for $4,164,695.27. And that's for the Regional Fire Department for the 8-month period from May to December of 2020. And I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Antle and second by Councillor Fry. Questions, comments? Going once. I'll call the motion. All in favor? Contrary-minded? Carried.
And for the information of council, for our payment register for the dates February 11th to the 19th, totals $438,634.84. This is just for your information. You can read it through. This is already invoice that we already approved. And that's just for your information. Any questions, Your Worship?
I have one. Anybody else though? Question for Director Pittman. I notice a lot of EFTs now. So I guess that's part of the new system we just implemented. I'm thinking we're going to save money on checks and banking. Can you enlighten us a little bit on that, please, Director?
Yes, absolutely. As part of the shift to our new core service finance system through Digital Mount Pearl with Central Square Paramount Purchasing System, we put a push on EFT payments, which allows our vendors get paid faster and set up that process more efficiently. And so as such, we've just been issuing less checks. EFT payments have been going much quicker, as well as P card. So the use of our purchase cards from the city has enabled a faster process for payment, and as well the same level of internal control.
So an open-ended question, how will that impact the bank reconciliation, for example, one of those nasty little processes that must be done every month to make sure our bank accounts are nice and tidy and still intact?
Yeah, happy to report that our bank reconciliations are up to date. We're working in the month previous now. So we're actually working in month of January right now. Month of February right now. I forgot it's March. So we're working the month of February right now, but yeah, it'll clean up our bank reconciliation and make the process smoother. We're also transitioning to our bank recs through the new system as well, which will remove some of the manual, as you know, line by line calculations for every, cross-referencing for every purchase that we've made. So overall, it's been a long road for the transition, but we're starting to see some of the benefits come through in some of our internal processes right now.
So I think the problem when we had with our bank reconciliations, trying to keep them up to date in the past, it really wasn't a people problem. It was more about having the right systems and giving the staff the right tools to get their jobs done effectively and efficiently.
Yeah, that's a fair comment. Up until recently, our bank reconciliation process has been manual. So it's been a literal manual balance of our spend and bank rec. And so right down to the penny. So it's been a long, arduous process, and an average a month of bank reconciliations can take a month or 5 weeks to complete. And that process is becoming much more expeditious as we move through the new system. So
and it's all good news. Anyway, pass on our compliments and our gratitude to the staff for, I know implementation is not over, but this is where I think we can say tangibly, we can see benefits coming from the investments that we've made.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Antle.
Councillor Fry.
Your worship, I have one.
Fry.
Director Pittman, you mentioned purchase cards. Are these any of these from the payment register actually paid for by purchase cards, or is that completely separate?
It's separate. So the P card report will come monthly. We had one at 6 weeks following month end. It's typically a month, but the way our council meetings fall, it'll be 6 weeks in that council meeting at month end. So you'll see a purchase card report at our next public council meeting, but they don't double dip in terms of reporting. So if you see it on the payment register, it's a check that we've issued, but you can see it's a much smaller payment register, which I think is what the mayor was kind of highlighting, is that typically that's pages long, whereas our P card implementation, which provides us a slew of benefits, including instant payment, but also instant transparency. And furthermore, just the same level of controls has really shortened the load in terms of the payment register and the manual processing payment. So,
but I noticed the amounts are just as high. Councillor Stoyles.
Thank you. So ready for my report. Tonight I will be bringing in a number of change orders. And,
sorry, Lucy. Sorry, Councillor Stoyles. Oh, I thought you wanted to comment on the payment.
Sorry,
No.
I thought you were.
Oh, apologies. No, we're almost done. Okay.
Okay.
Councillor Antle, we're coming to you, Councillor Stoyles.
Just one more, Councillor Source, and I'll be done. This is number 3 is the facade improvement program, and this is our program that we run every single year. This year we have 2 so far. One is for Hydraulic Newfoundland, and this is a new business up in Donovan's Industrial Park, and they're doing some building renovations. The project cost us $12,500, and they came to us and looked for some ideas to upgrade their building, and we gave them a grant of $2,000. And this is a great project. It gives a chance to upgrade a building, an existing building in Donovan's, and makes it more feasible. And as we're talking about Donovan's reimagination plan, this is a real good spend for us in the city. The second one is Donovan's Irving. And when you look at Donovan's Irving is an original a business in Donovan's Industrial Park. It's been there for 30 plus years. And even though, I mean, Irving is a huge company, and they're spending, right now they're going to spend upwards of $2 million to renovate their building. And for us, to give them a grant of $4,000, it's a small amount of money to spend, but it is in recognition of their 30 plus years within the city and within Donovan's Industrial Park. And, you know, one of these things, when they spend $2 million on their building, you know, there's some upsides to this too. I mean, they increase their value of the building, and it makes it more interesting. It's an entrance into Mount Pearl. So when you come into Mount Pearl, that's the first thing you're going to see is Donovan's Industrial, or the Donovan's Irving. And these two, this grant is for $4,000, and I so move.
Councillor Antle has moved the grants to the facade improvement grants for 80 for Glencoe, 65 Clyde, and I believe that is seconded by Councillor Fry, his co-chair. Any questions from members in attendance today? None. Okay, I'll call the question. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion carried. Thank you very much, Councillor.
And now I'm done, Councillor Stoles.
And now, Councillor Stoles, the floor is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, I wanted to welcome Ms. Pearl to our chamber and looking forward to working with her. And as I said, I have a number of change orders to bring in tonight. And I wanted to just say that change orders are required to authorize the extension of a contract. In these cases, the actual change order was not conducted in a timely manner. I must note that the value of the work was estimated by unit prices and contracts and overseen by our engineering department. And also want to say that our staff have worked very hard to improve the services at Public Works, and we continue to work with our staff and with the, to provide better services and bring things in a timely manner. With that now, I have a number of change orders, and this one was 2019 asphalt contract concrete repair, and it was, of course, it was done. Madam Perrine had the initial contract, and this money was allocated out of the capital gas tax money, and the repair was included Park Avenue manholes and additional repair to the sidewalks and repairs in and around the Park Avenue area with manholes and that. So I'm recommending a change order in the amount of $47,953 to be approved. A budget transfer of $14,461 to be transferred from available capital works. And all this, by the way, is within budget and within our capital works budget that we've already had approved. And I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Stoyles and seconded by Councillor Fry. Any questions, Council? Hearing none. Okay, I'll call the question for this change order. All in favor? Contrary-minded and carried. Thank you, Councillor Stoyles.
All right, the next one is change order regarding, and Madam Perrine was the contractor for this, and the original contract was awarded to Madam Perrine, and we're recommending for the change order in this one as well. And this was for the Mount Carson Avenue storm sewer program and Coruscant Drive, and the change order is for $140,885.43. And again, we are looking at transferring $17,589.93, and I move for this to be approved.
Okay, so this is coming out of the same review as with the other contract, eh? Yeah.
Same review.
Okay, moved by Councillor Stoyles, second by Councillor Fry. Any comments, questions? Councillor Antle's already given his vote of approval. Two committee members seem to support it, so I guess we're pretty well near the end. I'll call the question. All in favor? And those opposed? And that one's approved too. Thank you, Councillor Stoyles. Back to you.
All right. The next one is the 2020 Topsail Road Asphalt Renew. This one was, we actually made some changes in adding the line dots and approval for the works that was done on Topsail Road to have better, for pedestrians and drivers in the area. And we're recommending approving the change order for this and the amount of 33,522.37. And I so move.
Again, moved by Councillor Stoyles, and I see the thumbs up from Councillor Fry. All in favor? Motion is carried. Thank you so much.
And the next one is the 2020 Topsail Road, Dunn Roads traffic signal upgrades. And this is this change order. We're recommending for 55,014.97. And in this one, we're recommending for $107 to be changed from to be ratified for to be moved from one account to the other, same as the last one. And I so move.
Moved by Councillor Stoyles again, and second by Councillor Fry. Any questions, Councillor Rantle?
Just a quick note, maybe I missed it, Councillor Stoyles. You said it was a change order for $107.40. I think it was a change order.
No, change order was for 55,014.97. It's just a change in the amount of money to be transferred over. It was 107.47.
Thank you. I
I'll
might have
call the
missed it.
question. All in favor? Contraminded? Again, that motion's carried as well. Thank you. Go ahead, Councillor.
All right, the next one is St. David's Avenue upgrade. And of course, there's three different things here. The total amount is 36,169.49. And this is the upgrades that we did to St. David's Park when we were doing, this is concerning the water main and where we did the new accessible park and everything, and we done some upgrades down there, and we had to install we had to cut and remove sections of the road and everything, and so we could provide water in through the area and everything. And the water main on Commonwealth, 300-meter water main on Commonwealth Avenue. And I so move.
Again, moved by Councillor Stoyles and second by Councillor Fry. One comment I'd like to make, sorry, Councillor Antle, did you want to go ahead or no? Sometimes you find things in the ground that you don't expect were there. You know, in this particular case, the viaduct wasn't known to us. It was built back in the day before the regular use of what they call as-built drawings and electronic forms of like CAD design and the like. So until the shovels go in the ground, you don't always know what's there. And unfortunately, this change order, we had to work with the viaduct. We had to connect through it. And basically it's, you know, as Councillor Stoyles said, when you get unit prices, you calculate it out based on labor and materials, essentially. Isn't that right, Director Antle?
That's correct, Your Worship. In this case here, these are things that we don't always expect to find when you find older utilities from many years ago. So once we don't know, this is a time and materials change order. So this is actually measured on the actual time to do the work. So it's not actually based on the quantities, it's actually measured in the time and the work that's required.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. All right, let's call the motion. All in favor? Those opposed? Again, motion carried. Thank you.
The next one is we're requesting, this is source. This is the design of the roof and the HVAC system down at City Hall. Ron Paget, the architect, was the company who did the initial contract at $25,875, and we're recommending to change the design to add a different scope for the amount of $7,107. And this was when they went to do the work, they felt that they needed to do extra work and have more. This was yeah, I'm just looking at it now. This is the scope then to replace get another estimate to do the sole source on this building. I don't know if Jerry wants to explain. This is the roof at City Hall and the HVAC system that we have in place down there. So I don't know if it's something Jerry wants to explain a bit further and that, but the amount in the change order is $7,107, and I so move.
Director Antle, I think this is again a case of something unforeseen that's happening in the middle of existing work.
Yeah. So thank you, Your Worship, and thank you, Councillor Stoyles. Yes, this is to do with, we were doing the work in our project to do roof replacement on one portion of City Hall, and we're also replacing ventilating units. And in the process of replacing the units, part of the design work, we discovered that the control system that controls the heating system at City Hall was antiquated, needed replacement. So this proposed change order here is an actual contract, a sole source contract to the same consultant doing the design work for the roof and the HVAC unit, is to include the controls design. And that's the cost of the work that's identified here as an extra cost.
So why would we do a sole source? Is it, is there an advantage?
In this case, Your Worship, the consultant is on site. It's doing the design work. It fits best with the package that we're preparing now. And we'll include it with the same tender package that we're preparing for the roof work as well as the HVAC units.
Okay, Councillor Stoyles, any final comments?
No, just thank you, Councillor, the Director Randall, for explaining exactly what needs to be done there. And exactly as he said, when you start doing something, you don't know what you're going to end up finding. And we have to do what we need to do to make sure that it's done right and done good. So we will never want to have to do it again for a number of years.
All right, it's moved by Councillor Stoyles and second by Councillor Fry. All in favor? Thumbs are up. Thank you. And those opposed? And that motion's carried as well. Thank you.
All right, the next one is the pedestrian underpasses. And of course, this has been something that we've dealt with. We have a number of underpasses here within the city. Back a number of years ago, we closed down some of them. And of course, we have been, and we always continue to check on those structures to make sure they're safe, and that especially when we have, they're in our school district where a lot of the young people are using them on a regular basis. Anyway, while we were doing the work and looking at doing the actual work and underneath the overpasses and everything, we was determined that the guardrails in the 3 of those overpasses weren't up to code. And first, when we talked about it, we had many discussions, not only this week, but over the past number of months, about the pedestrian underpasses. And we are recommending that we will look at doing, I guess, the study to see what needs to be done. And we're recommending approving this work in the amount of $8,625. And like I said, we've had many discussions in this and wondering, well, can we just replace them if they need to be replaced? But apparently, because if the grade and everything is possible danger to the people and to the pedestrians in the area, so we are recommending that we will look at doing design work and see what needs to be done, if anything needs to be done in replacing those guardrails. And I so move.
Thank you, Councillor Stoyles. It is moved by Councillor Stoyles and second by Councillor Fry. I don't see anybody indicating a question. I'll call the motion. All in favor? I see 3 thumbs up. Thank you very much. Motion is carried.
All right, the next stuff is just the status update, and of course, the essential services and all winter maintenance and everything is still ongoing. Garbage collection and water and sewer repairs and our street maintenance is on the go. But of course, safety is always first in the city's mind, especially when it relates to staff, related to Corvec and the things that have changed over the past couple of weeks, where we've gone back to level 5, and it's always difficult for our staff, the frontline workers, to be out there as well as any frontline workers that's here within the city or in the province. So we want to make sure that safety is first, as we've always said. We want to make sure that our staff is safe out there doing their work. And of course, we also have been grooming the trails, especially this year, where people have been in the house and not able to do much other than go for a walk and everything. So we've been getting some very good positive feedback on the walking trails being done and upgraded. So I want to say thank you to the staff for doing all of that, because it's always good to do that. And capital works upgrade, of course, we're preparing our tenders. Nothing have changed. Our staff have been working before Christmas and the first few weeks in January, when we didn't get much snow. Our staff, even though they were not doing snow clearing, they were doing a lot of really good things in the city. They painted the library, like we said, before Christmas, they were in the process of doing that. And anytime they had any free time and there was no snow clearing to do, they were out and about doing odds and ends around the city, and want to say thank you for all the hard work that they have done. And as I said, yeah, they're in the process now of getting tenders ready, crack sealing tenders, material testing, and of course, they're getting the tenders ready for the underpass, and line painting tender will be ready soon. And again, I want to say thank you to all our staff for all the hard work that they have done, especially the past number of weeks with all the snowstorms and everything we've gotten. And I understand that your worship and some of the staff was up to the depot last night and thanking the staff. And I too want to echo the thank you to everybody that have shown such great leadership here within the city. And that's it for me, your worship.
Thank you, Councillor Stowes. I might add, though, the car was driven by Councillor Fry, and Councillor Antle was the wing person that on the way to the depot. But it was very much appreciated, and I want to thank Mount Pearl Minor Hockey as well as Sobeys for the contribution. Councillor Stowes, or Councillor Antle, sorry.
Just a quick note. I mean, our staff are certainly going above and beyond. I want to talk about the trail grooming. I'm sure we're all going to talk about trail grooming. But it's fabulous. I mean, we're doing such a good job on our trail grooming right now. Our residents really come out of the way and tell us about that. But also, I noticed our sidewalks are doing quite well. Outside of this snow we had this today, but most of our sidewalks now within the city of Mount Pearl are doing quite well. I mean, we're using our snowplow, our sidewalk blower, and it has a standard attachment now. I mean, it's doing great. But you know, it's really lots of room for the residents for participation. So well done to our city staff. Thanks very much.
Okay, thank you very much. So, Councillor Stowes, you're finished. And then we'll move on to the Community Development Committee report. Councillor Fry, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, it's really great to have all the outdoor activities because unfortunately with level 5, a lot of the indoor activities have had to close. So just for the information of public, our recreation facilities remain closed, guided by the public health in the current alert level 5. All programs, services, rentals in all recreation facilities have been suspended until further notice. And that includes our city's outdoor rink setups. So the setups and the maintenance of that have had to be put on hold as well, which is really unfortunate because everyone was so excited for those. Currently, the department is looking at other options for the family ski and snowshoe program as levels progress. And as well, we're finalizing the start of virtual programming, including fitness and family activities. So our staff have been very busy trying to find creative ways to keep our residents engaged and physically fit despite the closure of our facilities. So that's awesome. Okay, next we have our building and occupancy permit listing for the period of February the 8th to the 19th. So the committee recommends that the building permits issued for this particular period, February the 8th to the 19th, showing a total construction value of $267,600 be approved, and further that the occupancy permit list be accepted as presented. And those are here in your kit if you have any questions.
It is moved by Councillor Fry, second by Councillor Antle. You see a little bit of activity taking place. I'm sure it'll pick up as the spring arrives. Any questions? Hearing none, I'll move the motion. All in favor? Contrary-minded, carried. Back to you, Councillor Fry, or I think your report is finished, is it?
And that's the conclusion of our report. Short and sweet this evening.
Thank you very much. As we always do for the roundtable, we go around the table, starting with the next person in the line. I believe the Deputy Mayor was last, so we're going to turn to Councillor Fry.
Okay, I have a couple of pages here tonight. First, I just want to mention that on February the 10th, the Northeast Avalon Joint Council had a meeting and the issue of fireworks have been discussed. And I bring this here because I know it's been a somewhat of a contentious issue, but it's difficult to find a solution because while fireworks are only permitted on New Year's Eve and Canada Day, it's hard to enforce because you have to actually catch people in the act. So the discussion around fireworks was that it is common to all municipalities. A lot of councillors in other municipalities have received complaints as well, but everyone agrees that enforcement is a problem. So they're looking at a joint communication strategy now, so a common marketing educational campaign, and that should be in the works. And hopefully, well, I guess COVID has kind of put things on hold right now, but hopefully before we get to Canada Day, there might be something on that. So that's just for your information. I noticed, and from our committee report, on the website, there's a great section for shop local, where you can shop from the comfort of your couch, and you can see a list of all local businesses on mountpearl.ca. And I strongly encourage, shop local now is more important than ever, because these local entrepreneurs are the ones that need our support at this point. It's so easy to click a button and order from Amazon when it's our local entrepreneurs that do the local work. That's our economy, and they need us right now. So I encourage everybody to shop local. There are several options if people are interested. I know there is a Facebook group called At Home Market, and their primary source is local shopping, but they will shop for you for whatever you need for a small fee. So that's the kind of thing. And if you're unsure if your favorite business does offer curbside or delivery, call them and ask them. They, like you say, they need our support right now. I would like to say a few thank yous. I know that my colleagues are going to talk about this further, but I want to thank the many businesses and organizations who donated meals to the frontline workers at Eastern Health, and also to the frontline workers at Eastern Health. These nurses and LPNs and traffic control, security, administration, these people were out in the middle of February, in the middle of all kinds of conditions, from all hours of the day. And while that's what they're trained to do, they've gone above and beyond. When they went to nursing school, they expected to be working in a hospital, not in the middle of a parking lot, in the middle of February, in the middle of a snowstorm. So I cannot express my thanks enough for going out and swabbing at all hours just to keep our community safe, and for setting up the testing sites here in our community, when we needed it most. I would also like to extend a thank you to the Mount Pearl Kinsmen. February 20th is Kindness Day, and they bought gift bags, flowers, chocolate roses, socks, and treats, and they did little gift bags, and of course Valentine's cards, and delivered it to the seniors' homes, Cradian Manor, Hillcrest, and Pearl House. And that was on King Canada's National Day of Kindness. So that's good community spirit right there. I would also like to say congratulations to Perry Dalton of the Mount Pearl Paradise Skating Club. He was honored with the Sovereign's Medal for Volunteers, and as a longtime volunteer, he's a treasurer and board of directors member. Perry is being recognized for his significant, sustained, and unpaid contribution to the community, and he has punched 18 years now. So that is a longtime volunteer. So it's great to see him being recognized. Also, congratulations to Brad Moss. Brad is a member of the Mount Pearl Lions Club, and he received the Humanitarian Service Award winner. So despite all of the COVID and the news of the outbreak and things, there are really good things happening in our community. I would also like to congratulate a young author. Her name is Emily Heptage, and she's the author of the book Woman in the Attic. This book here, in case anybody is interested in reading it, is a great book. And she has made the long list for the 2020 BMO Winterset Award. Now, this award celebrates excellence in Newfoundland and Labrador writing, and the award is designed to celebrate and support Newfoundland writers. So there are 6 that have made the long list. Congratulations to all 6, and the 3 finalists will be revealed this week. So each finalist will receive $3,000 and the winner will receive $12,500. So it's a great opportunity. And as a side note, I just noticed, I read again yesterday that she also won the NL Reads 2021 award. So she has a bright future. She's also been accepted to the University of New Brunswick's Faculty of Law to begin in September. So she's a busy and she's a busy youth, and she makes us very proud. You know, we have great youth here in our province. And also, just finally for me, I would like to wish a good luck to our City Tar Blues from Mount Pearl. That's the hockey team. They are finalists in the Good Deeds Cup. And the winner of that is going to be announced on Hockey Night in Canada on March 20th. The winner, if they win this, they will get $100,000 to the Kids Help Phone. And as we know, this, especially now with COVID in the schools, you know, the Kids Help Phone do great work. So good luck to our City Tar Blues. And that's it for me tonight, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor. Moving on to Councillor Antle.
Thank you, Your Worship. I'll try to be, I only have 5 pages, Councillor Fry, so I'll try to speed along. So
No duplicates.
I'll try to, just a couple of things I got a duplicate, I'm sorry. All right. One of the things we talked about in our committee today, Your Worship, I was going to say Your Reverend, Your Worship, is we talked about our marketing and economic development team has been working diligently behind the scenes to help out our businesses here within the city of Mount Pearl. And one of the things they have done is you might see around City Hall, there's lots of signs around City Hall, such as, you know, stop, do not enter this building, or sit here, or the 5 stages that you have to stay apart. And right. Well, our marketing and economic development team has made these signs available to all businesses within the city of Mount Pearl. And they have mailed these or dropped these signs off to businesses here within the city. And it's a great endeavor for our marketing and economic development team to do this, to spread it out to the business that support the city of Mount Pearl. This is a way that we can support them in some little way. And as Councillor Fry talked about, you know, we have a website talked about support local. And I won't name all the business because I know I'm going to miss these, right? But over the past 10 or 15 days, ever since, you know, the COVID broke out here in the city of Mount Pearl, we in the city have done whatever we possibly can to help that. And on the first Friday night, we had a call from, you know, a local supermarket. I'm not going to mention them all, Your Worship, because I'm going to miss them. But we had a customer, a business here in the city of Mount Pearl, call up and offered meals. And in the past 15 days, every single day, a business within the city of Mount Pearl and some in St. John's have dropped off a meal to feed all these frontline workers. And that's amazing when you think about, you know, we're having a rough time. These businesses are having a rough time, but they still found a way that supported our frontline workers. And I think, as Councillor Fry just alluded to, if they supported our frontline workers, it's our turn to support them. So if there's any way that we can support a local business, let's get out and try to support those local people as much as we possibly can. You know, otherwise we don't support them, you know, another couple of months they mightn't be around. Next thing I talked about the trails, and I was going to talk about the trails in Councillor Stoll's report. But one of the things I want to talk about is the trails, and I think we talk about it. We have it on our website, and I'll try to be as very nice about it as possible. People just aren't picking up after their dogs. You walk on the trails right now, and there's a mess on the trails continual, and there's youngsters walking on the trails. There's seniors walking on the trails. When you get a little bit of snow covered on the trails, you don't see dog feces on the trails at all, and people are walking into that. So, you know, and we supply the bags. The city of Mount Pearl have bags all over the city that you can just take a bag and pick up after your dog and bring it home. Don't tie it in a tree. Don't throw it to the side, but bring it home. I mean, people are walking into this all the time, and, you know, it's a health hazard. And, you know, it's not nice when you see your children or grandchildren come home with this stuff on their hands and on their boots. If you want to take a look for something to do while we're with COVID, Mount Pearl Public Library, every single day on the website, Mount Pearl Public Library has something for the youngsters to do. There's a book of the book of the day, a book of the week, a book of the month. They're very nice. This week we have Dr. Zeus. I think I might even give it a go. All right. And they even had some recipes. Just last week we had on our website, the worship and I Mayor Aker and I walked to Powers Pond last week. They had to stop and see. There was a skating rink on one of our ponds. And although it looked beautiful and we thought it was quite nice, it wasn't safe. And you have to be very careful around the ponds. We're getting a lot of freeze, a lot of thaw, a lot of open running water. So none of the ponds in the city of Mount Pearl are safe. Unless you go out and check them when there's 10 inches of ice on that pond, it's not safe. We put on an alert to tell everybody that, stay off the ponds. Our snowshoes are going to be available as soon as COVID is free. I got a call on that yesterday. And as soon as we're available and get COVID, as soon as we can get the alert level dropped down, we'll have our snowshoes. And that's everything for me, Your Worship.
Thank you so much, Councillor Antle. On to you, Councillor Stoyles.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have a few things. First of all, I want to pass along my sympathy to the families. Maybe, we walked to Maud's 100th birthday not that long ago in December, and it was sad to see that she passed away. And also to Herb and Loretta Jenkins. They had lost their daughter, and it was so sad. I spoke to Herb last week and passed along my sympathies with Quebec. Of course, it's very difficult. Most funerals have been cancelled or postponed. And also to the Nolan family. It's always difficult when young people pass away, and it's difficult times. And we all know we're stuck in COVID, and Mount Pearl certainly have been hit hard in the past number of weeks. And we're into week 3 now in lockdown 5, and hopefully in the next week or 10 days after this second 2 weeks is over, that we will be able to change and go back to the way we were. I don't think we're ever going to be back to normal for a long time, not only in Mount Pearl, but in the province. So I say to people, be kind, because that's the only thing you can do, is be kind. Everybody is under so much stress. So many families with a member with COVID or with a loved one sick or in hospital. And of course, we've lost a couple of more people through COVID, and certainly want to pass along my sympathy to those people as well. I also want to echo Councillor Fry's remarks and congratulating Perry Dalton and Brad Mass. I know Brad, I guess, as well as most of everybody else on council, but Emily Heptich actually is a relative of mine, as distant as it is her mom, her grandmother, Mrs. Heptich, who's up in Masonic Park. Every time I used to be up there and up around, would always say to me, that we're related. And we're also very proud of all the great work she has done, and she's so talented, and she is somebody going to be to look out for in the next 10 years. Hopefully when she gets her studies done, she will come back to Mount Pearl and continue to be a proud resident of Mount Pearl as she is today. Anyway, that is it for me, and everybody stay safe, and like I said, be kind.
Thank you, Councillor Stoyles. I'm going to wrap up shortly, and when I do, folks, I'm going to turn it over to CAO Sparrow to, if she'd like to address council, and her first opportunity as well to address the public since assuming her new role. But I'm always amazed at the resiliency and the enthusiasm in this community. Even though we're going through a very difficult time with regards to the resurgence that started and went through Mount Pearl Senior High, the community has rallied in so many ways, to help each other. And positive news is what we're looking for. That's the way we keep strong, and that's the way we're going to get it through. I'm happy to say that some of us were involved with our local businesses. There was 24 donors at the end of the day to the healthcare workers. And those donors range from mostly businesses, but we had 3 church organizations, and we also had the Frosty Festival Board of Directors. We had the COVID Frontline Workers Care Fund, the Salvation Army. Like Councillor Antle says, it's too long to mention. Now, if you want, I can. I've got a list made up of the 24 that did contribute. Plus, there was 9 supporters, because quite often when we had a restaurant that supplied the food, it came from a donor, but the restaurants were all very cooperative and discounted the prices very substantially. So it was a lot of cooperation and a lot of positive energy in the city. And I just want to make the comment to how well you've done, staff. Thank you very much for your planning You prepared us for alert level 5. You never dreamed, did you, that we would go from alert level 2 to alert level 5? Everybody kind of saw it, perhaps like I did. Well, you'd go from 2 to 3 and 3 to 4. I did not see the day coming, and I'm so proud how our service levels were quickly adjusted. And frankly, I think our residents understand, because they know that our service levels keep our employees safe, and they also keep our community safe. And the final thing I want to mention related to the pandemic is the role of rumors and negativity, and realistically, it doesn't do us any good at all. What we need is positive vibes that unite us and carry us forward without judgment. There'll be time later on to assess, exactly how things have occurred and what caused it. But right now, it's all about feeling safe and getting healthy. And I just wanted to respond to some of the rumors that I've heard. And I know today the deputy mayor has responded in his own way, but the deputy mayor is at home with his family. He is recuperating, and we send them all of our love and our best wishes for a healthy recovery. And we hope to see the deputy mayor, I hope, as early as next Tuesday when we have our next public council meeting. So I'd like to offer, a little bit of fond wishes to the Locke family, in particular to Jim. Jim is a friend to everybody in this room, and rumors don't do it any good at all. So I'm not trying to set the record straight. I'm just trying to take care of some of the rumors that are going around out there. So there you have it. And the final thing I wanted to say is, yes, Councillor Stoyles, you mentioned the Nolan family. When we lose a relative of an employee with the city of Mount Pearl, it hurts us all, and we grieve with the employee and their family. So I just wanted to acknowledge the contribution of Jimmy Nolan to our organization, and our heartfelt grief as we reach out to his family in a very dear time to them. So I know Director Antle, you've been in touch with the family a little bit more often than we have, but we look forward to seeing Jimmy come back to work, and we look forward to some closure for his family going forward. Folks, that's all I have to say. I probably could say a lot more. It's been a great council meeting, and I'm going to end the meeting on a positive note, again, by welcoming CAO Spurl. How do you feel? I think you've been here forever. Welcome.
Thank you, Your Worship. It feels like I've been here longer than 2 or 3 weeks for sure. But I just want to say, I'm really honored, really pleased to be here and be part of this team. The past 2 to 3 weeks have, tested our mettle for sure as an organization and as a city, as we dealt with the outbreak and the alert level 5 requirements and, adjusting the service levels. But I've been more than impressed with the team and how everyone has come together to handle it. I'm impressed with our outside workers and our union who have stepped up to make sure the services are delivered, and, putting the safety of our staff, but also the safety of residents at the front of our mind. It's just been an outstanding response. And, if what I've seen to date is any indication, it's certainly a really strong team that I'm working with. We've got a really full slate, which has become quite apparent in the past 2 to 3 weeks, but I have every confidence we'll all deliver. So happy to be here. And even though it's been a trying 2 to 3 weeks, it's also been a remarkable one.
Well, thank you very much. And Ms. Lewis, are we done? Have we done everything that was on the agenda?
Have indeed.
Thank you very much, everybody. Let's reconvene for committee of the whole. Is 5:45 appropriate? Is 20 minutes long enough? Or who wants 6 o'clock? So put their hands up for 5:45. Okay, put their hands up. Put their hands up. Who wants to come back at 6 o'clock? Okay, see you at 5:50. Thank you very much. We're adjourned on motion from Councillor Fry and Councillor Stoyles. We are adjourned. Thank you. See you soon.